Might be a Beastmaster here. I like the Beastmaster. Beastmaster Phoenix is also a really strong lane. Kind of hard to trade into like boars and fire spirits, slowing your attack speed. But it might also Magnus is still in the pool as well. So if 5 men doesn't want to give away like too much of their draft yet, they can go for the Magnus and leave it open, like as a post 3 or mid option, or even post 5.
That's true. Like, I think at this point, it should be pretty clear what Viking are doing. Like this, I don't think this is going to be a funky Snapfire 3 or Snapfire in
Uh,
the 2, for example.
I know Toby plays Snapfire a little bit, but
Yeah.
it's most likely going to be a celery Snapfire.
Yeah, I haven't seen Boom spamming out the Snapfire yet, so I don't think we haven't been infected by the Snapfire boogie that much yet. Okay, we've wiggled in on the 5, the 4, the 3. We ain't at 2 Snapfire yet. China gets to keep that one for the moment.
Yeah, I've seen Abed play it a lot as well. Look really strong. It's like a better Tiny in a way in lane, because it's actually a range hero and has some base armor.
That's true. Scout Blast is just ridiculous, actually, the damage output. I mean, it's kind of deceptive, right? When you first look at the hero as someone who doesn't think about the numbers, you're like, oh, Cookie's really good. Oh, Kisses is really OP by the sounds of it. But then you look at Scout Blast, cooldown, the damage, and the mana cost. You're like, well, there's not really any downside to this spell.
Yeah, the only downside is Snapfire's mana pool herself. So
And that is why Ice Frog created Mangoes.
that is true. Like
Interesting that
sorry.
I was just gonna say, interesting they pick up the clockwork. Like usually we see the the Snapfire against the clockwork, right? Because it's a really good counter against his combo. I guess this gives them flexibility. Like if you want to maybe run this clock as a free, you can now stick the Snapfire top if you didn't like whatever the faces void faces off against.
Yeah, exactly. And both Toby and Aramis really like playing this.
Exactly, yeah.
Like playing clock. But we might also see like a classic Veno come out of them right now.
I wonder what
Depending.
5 men need. Because I like the Mars band that came out from Viking as well, actually, to stop the circles from forming. But okay, Cookie Cutter Void Spirit. Probably Chessy, but should be kept in mind. Yesterday, we saw Misery play us in the 4, and he made
Oh,
himself look like the carry.
that's a kind of new pick for Viking. So this means, I think, that this is probably a post 3 Mirana, because Toby is usually the Mirana player. So that's Mirana Clockwork lane. And they pick up the Beastmaster, so yeah, like we said, Beastmaster Phoenix, pretty strong lane. Should beat out the Void Snapfire here.
It does. I feel like you would have been pretty decent with the Clockwork Snapfire, though. Like, you already mentioned Snapfire, Toby plays a bit of it, and then you have, like, Clockwork Aramis. Would have been pretty potent. But honestly, when 5 men go and pick the Beastmaster at this point, you probably feel confident about the Mirana pick, because now you do just have that Snapfire Void.
Yeah, and it's also just really good against the Ench right in lane. Basically nullifies the effect of Enchant, being able to salvage every lane with a creep.
Viking are already wise to how Enchantress wins games. If any team was, it's going to be the one with Celery on it.
Yeah, they are trained in the ways of the Bambi.
I just love the way that like Celery is so diverse in his pub games. I'll tune into his stream. He's playing Ench in the 5. He's playing Io in the 5. He's playing Io in the 1. He's playing Io in the 3. He's playing Ench in the 3. There's a pattern here. It's usually the heroes, but at least he switches up the roles.
Let's see, what do we expect here for the 5 men to come out? I think this is a Void Spirit, right? Like Void Spirit mid probably.
Yeah, I don't think you try and flex the Void Spirit too hard here. Like, final hero, it should just be aces. I don't want to see any carry Void Spirits. Those days were
Yeah,
peculiar.
TB's in the pool, pretty good hero. I think AM would be really strong here as well.
Yeah, I mean, they have heroes that can play fast enough. I'm not sure about the TB just because, like, the potential to just wipe out his game with the Void Snapfire, right?
Yeah, I think. Oh,
Okay,
Lone
how
Druid.
do we forget about this guy? We saw him earlier today. It was on Mio in the last series, and it was brutal. Absolutely brutal.
Lone Druid feels like a very hit or miss hero for me. Like the only one I always see consistently perform well on that hero is Matumba Man. But I know Ace is a seasoned Lone Druid player, so it might be a decent pick here. It's kind of hard to play against Clockwork because Clock is pretty good at getting on top of the druid himself. So we'll see how that lane goes, but that's a pretty strong lane, lone druid, Eng, double ranged with the bear.
Yeah, I'm just looking at this. I'm thinking it's like the way that they've kind of drafted this lone druid. They have simplified the game a lot for Ace, right? Like you have this Beastmaster, you have this Phoenix. There's a lot of early push potential, and it's kind of hard for Viking to rebuttal it without using big ultimates like the Chrono or the Kisses.
I really like this SF pick. It's. I wonder if they decide to run the lone druid mid against that, because I think Void Spirit kind of gets crushed by SF in lane. But we'll see how they choose to lane this. But I really like 5-man's draft. It's got a pretty good balance of push, team fight, pick of potential.
Do you think Viking have enough ability to play outside of their big ultimates against this lineup, or do you think they're a little bit lackluster in that element?
With their current form, I'm not quite sure. Like they have to hit their tempo. If they don't hit their tempo, I think they're in for a pretty rough game. Like it's gonna come down to team play, I think, for Viking. If they can outplay 5-man, because like 5-man is like a pretty easy to execute draft, right? You got some point and click stunts in the roar and enchant. Like there's not much that can go wrong with the 5-man draft. While Viking, they have like a volatile hero like SF and 2 skill shots on Clockwork and Mirana. Not the most reliable hero, so we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, it's the reason why we've seen a lot of teams move away from the Mirana. Usually towards things like, I want to say, the Wind Ranger instead, because even though it's another type of unreliable stun, there's a lot of trees around you. There's a lot more easy ways to kind of land that stun compared to the arrow. And you do more outside of just being an arrow. And if it hits, great, but if it doesn't, what now? Like, what does your hero do?
And it's like we said, the Toby Mirana. So we're gonna see like a. I'm kind of curious how he builds it because he's like 50-50. Sometimes he just goes full into the auras, and other times he just builds damage. So I kind of expect them to go auras this game because I feel like they really have to hit their tempo.
Yeah,
So
they've got these two glass cannons as well, right? Like the Void and the SF. I feel like if you don't pad that with your POS free, you're going to be in a lot of trouble.
interestingly enough, they have the clock SF combo, but they decide not to give him the souls to start the lane with.
I mean, it's a little bit overrated with how quickly you reach level 2 these days, right? Like you compare the XP differences to 2 or 3 years ago, you kind of understood it, but I guess now you like just raise the wave, bam, got level 2.
Yeah, I guess that's it. But it's like you can very easily control the wave like the first 2 levels and just win the lane that way by denying like a lot of XP in the first 2 waves.
I guess maybe the other concern is that then you've got Clockwork with Cogs level 1, right?
Yeah, that I think that's the mostly the issue here.
Like we've seen plenty of lanes where Clockworks won't even bother to level Cogs because they're like, there's no opportunity to do anything with it here. If I Cogs, I'm just trapping myself in with a death trap.
I would like to point out the base movement speed on the heroes for 5 men in the bot lane.
I think the word Zoomers come to mind. This is your EU
Yeah,
Zoomers.
that's Bugatti bottom as we call it.
Please, nerf Bear. Why is Bear 340 movement speed without boots? I don't know about you. I've had many painful experiences with low druids. It just really is. I think the way Dan was referring to it earlier is just like if you have a lone druid player, it becomes ban worthy.
Yeah, it's like I feel like sometimes it's a cheese level on the hero of like Broodmother and stuff because it's especially like in the hands of like a capable lone druid player. It's so hard to play against that hero. Like you just 5 mana around the bear and it's so low commitment to hit those towers that you can just kind of win the game of 5-man pushes at around the Deso timings, like the Mask of Madness Deso that we see nowadays.
Yeah, because you don't have to worry about being vulnerable, right? Like your bear, if it dies, it's 300 gold. That does suck, but like that, you just go full glass cannon because it's tanky. And then the hero has a ridiculous ultimate that just says, "Oh, I am no longer a kill. Walk away right now or die."
Yeah, so many times I've seen people go for the kill on the lone druid and then they just realize, oh shit, he's got his ult up and an essence ring. Suddenly it's like
Let's just
gazillion
tick
extra.
off the ridiculous things. We've got that. Now you just mentioned the fact he can have 2 neutral items. I thought we nerfed the fact that, yeah, we're like, oh, it's kind of OP that hero's going to have multiple neutral items, but this one, it gets to have 2. The runes as well. That was something I was mentioning when it was in the mid. It just feels ridiculous because it can control the minute 4 runes. At least we don't worry about that this time.
Yeah, it's like a faster arc warden nowadays, right? And how it plays.
Oh, speaking of fast, that was kind of fast for the top lane to fall apart. The Beastmaster, I should have been looking. This is the level 2 power spike, and now Misery in a lot of trouble holding on to that point. Because he hasn't got much regen. He needs to be careful here.
Celery deciding not to throw out the Scatter Blast, realizing Misery is level 2. Oh.
However,
Oh,
like, if we bash once, I've got a cookie again, and I don't know if Misery can take that much sugar in his diet.
yeah, that's diabetes waiting to happen right there if that if he gets a bash.
I mean, I'm pretty sure Celery is looking at it as like, I might actually be able to kill him.
Yeah, he has to be careful. I think he can die here if Misery decides to try and right click Celery one more time.
Yeah, he's regenerating up enough courtesy of that Tango, so now it's not a kill anymore. But the problem you're going to have is Shad. I wouldn't be surprised if he picks up a Nuve. No? Okay, he's not a Nuve gamer.
No, I don't think so. Shad is usually quite a more passive laner, I feel. Very reliable, but...
Yeah, it's just this combo though, right, against the Beastmaster. Beast usually tries not to grab the boots early as well, so you're able to punish him even more.
Chessie's doing actually really well in the mid lane right now. I don't feel like this should be happening to this extent.
It kind of feels like a lane where you both get to do what you want, right? Like, I think because he got to the bottom a bit quicker, you feel a little bit better about it. But it's also the fact that you're not going to have to deal with both sources from the SF, where you're getting right-clicked and raised because you have that Resonant Pulse.
That is true, but I feel like Boom has not really been pressuring him that much with the raises. Like, I think he's just been pushing out the wave instead of trying to harass Jussie with the raises.
Yeah.
So they're just kind of trade a farmer right now.
I mean, the worrying part now is your mana situation and the fact that because you haven't pressured him at all, like rune-wise, he can easily take this from you with a Remnant. And it looks like the rune's going to be bought, so both of them losing out in the end.
Oh, he might die here. Oh no, he's not chasing. I used this mango as well.
Yeah, you got Fairy Fire plus Salve, so Jesse's kind of happy with that trade.
Yeah, he's got the raindrop now, so that's not a kill anymore. If anything, Jesse has some kill pressure on Boom coming up at level 6. Like,
well, we might see Celery TP mid just to make it easier on Boom, give him the refill, as he has walked all the way back to base after being pressured out.
Yeah, probably. It looks like they're not pressuring Shad that much right now, so I think he can just TP mid.
Speaking of not pressured, just have a look down at Ace right now and cringing in disgust right now. 13 denies.
Yeah, that's kind of what you expect, right? Like the Ench Lone Druid lane, super strong. The Ench doesn't even have to be there anymore. They can just leave the Lone Druid to his own devices.
Yeah, which means Pylai Dai can supplement his gold, and we've seen what Pi is like when he gets a little bit of gold. I think he's what I call a little bit more of a greedy POS 5 whenever he can get away with it, and he does a lot with his early items as well.
Yeah, I missed the days when Pilot I would just like die 15 times, and that's like 1,200 net worth at 40 minutes.
Like, what's the point in his name at this stage, right? It's like
Yeah.
you're not even living up to what you're called anymore. Pylai Live just doesn't have the same ring though.
Yeah, leaving EE has made him a changed man, it feels like.
Just trying to, this is the moment where I'm just angry we don't get team comms all the time. I would love to have like all the extracts from back there and just hear an Envy go, die, Pi, go die, go Pi, die.
Have you seen the YouTube video with that
The Viking ones?
Viking?
Yeah,
they post the voice comms, it's really fun.
I love that they're doing that. It's actually very smart. So I feel like something that gets talked about a lot is what do we do as an org, a small org, to get noticed or get big? And you do something different, right? And because all these teams get ultra protective about the comms, they don't want everyone to know, then you've got this golden opportunity to kind of garner support and views and attention by releasing those.
Yeah,
and it's
exactly.
just quite funny to see the team dynamics, right? Like, I think my favorite part was the one where they're like, Axe leveled Spin level 1. And just get on the lane, he gets battle hungered out of position. He's like, oh, you level spin, huh?
I mean, what I learned from that is if you make a call with enough confidence, people will follow it. So.
Yes. Like this is this lesson. Like that's one thing. That's one good thing I learned from Envy. Right? Is not even necessarily confidence. The repetition's the other way. Where you're like BKB, 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 or go mid, 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 mid. Like you just kind of overwhelm people and they listen.
Exactly. Meanwhile, Toby getting slapped around by the bear. Oh, cancels the recall.
I mean, what do you expect? It's a cat versus a bear. I don't care how good the odds you're going to give me there. I'm pretty sure I'm voting on the bear every time.
Depends on the cat.
This is more of a kitty cat than a lion.
Yeah. Yeah, this is most definitely not a tiger. But it looks like Toby is going for the, I think the mech build by the looks of it. So I expect Celery to go like Celery normally loves to go mech on Snapfire. So I would expect to watch Celery go right into the Glimmer Cape this game.
Yeah, Glimmer's pretty good. Other options I've seen, like I know Fada likes to do drums a lot. He's obsessed with that item on this hero.
Drums might be a good call as well. It helps them play their tempo, right? So
that's always the crucial part whenever you got an SF. Is like you need to meet these timings. It's a hero that can completely dominate the time, but if you miss your window, you kind of become a footnote.
All right. Let's see what SF goes. Like I think SF will probably go to drums this game.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with multiple drums, right? You get drums. You get drums. Everyone just get drums. I've actually seen that sometimes. Like, sometimes you get 2 drums. I feel like that's fallen off since they allowed you to just buy a recipe and refill your drums now. And
let's take a look at the vision. Both teams kind of have defensive vision of their safe lanes right now.
I'm not too surprised by this from Misery, by the way. Straight away, just queuing up the Meteor Hammer.
Yeah, it seems to be like the flavor of the most Phoenix players right now. I think GH really coined that build. He was like the first one that I've seen do it. And then people just kind of picked up on it.
Oop, you won't get it that quickly.
It's just clean kill. Like, it doesn't look like 5 man is ready to start pushing yet. They don't have the Mask of Madness on the bear yet, so...
But
that's a welcome to the lane for Toby right there. Just TP's in, gets insta-rooted.
It's like that really big dog that's really friendly, but it's so big that when it jumps on you to try and lick your face, it hurts. It's like, Toby, where you been? And right now, like the state of things, this should just be a case where Misery gets to sit mid, get his level 6. You're going to see Chess, he's rotating towards top. They want to try and yoink a kill on the Celery. He's bulky. If there's a TP in, they could pay a price, but without the chrono, there's no chance that occurs. Primal Roar ensures the kill, and now they'll be able to get the tower.
Yeah, Xibe has his Necro book already, so this should be a pretty free tower.
Oh, Misery. Living up to his namesake there. I said sit mid and get XP. The gold was kind of a bonus, not meant to happen. He learns that the hard way.
Viking tried to switch up their playstyle by defending their towers more, so I'm kind of curious to see how they want to defend this mid tower, because I feel like when Xibe is done in this top lane for a bit, he's just gonna rotate mid, and they're gonna... Oh.
They don't care about Xibe right now. They want to deal with Ace. However, that might be mistakes made. They bring down the bear, but they'll be able to get him in time. Beautifully done. Didn't get a chance. They got both
the bear and the hero. That's a lot of gold.
Sweet salivation. So you get, how much gold was that in the end? The kill worth 244. Over 500 gold change going the way of Vikin there. And meanwhile, mid, they won't even be able to get the tower now. This is a little bit painful for 5 man. I mean, you were kind of hoping with this catapult, but Boom is here. He doesn't even need to use the Requiem to get rid of everyone. Yeah, Aramis, however, is very ambitious here.
Yeah, I think that's a fine death. Like, if they hold the tower for this or they get the deny. Yeah, I think they have to deny it, because otherwise the Beastmaster is just gonna rotate and they take it anyway.
Problem is, it's not deniable right now.
Toby?
Misery? Yeah, that's... that's, I think there's many things that can stop this man.
I like how they tip him because Celery is like the most chill player in the world, and just seeing him tip people is like so funny to me.
It's just that oh moment. He's like, wait, what? He knows what my hero does, right? I'm just gonna press this one button now, and he's gonna rethink life. Not that he's gonna have much life left. Oh, Aramis.
No.
Ooh. Okay, though. Boom is here to save the day. I'm not sure if he can save you enough, though, Chessie. Oh, nice block. He actually tanked the Remnant.
Yeah, that actually saved his life. This is quite the predicament Viking are in here in terms of positioning. Like, they're very split, right?
Misery. That dive in, he's gonna regret it. They used the primal roar for nothing here. And they're not finished off Misery. They'll turn around and get him with the final kisses, but diving in like that without an egg is a brave, brave maneuver coming out of the post 4 cap.
Yeah, it feels like 5-man didn't really fully capitalize on like the positioning because they didn't have vision of the high ground. But if they realized how split they were, I think they would have committed a bit harder on Toby.
Yeah. Speaking of which, Toby, he's not going to be an easy kill for much longer. He's about to complete that mechanism, at which stage, you know, if you don't immediately eradicate him from the fight, the sustain factor kind of balances out. You can't just argue, hey, we got a Phoenix, we're able to Sunray in that mid game and win.
They have some really good heroes against the Phoenix, actually. The Mirana, the Snapfire. Even SF is pretty good against the Phoenix. And he's going straight for the BKB, it seems. So they really want to take those early fights.
Yeah, I think getting the Requiem off is especially crucial for them here. And getting another kill on a Misery would be quite nice, as they'll just bring him down. And then close the kill on this tier 1 tower.
Yeah, pretty clean play. Shad, meanwhile, being a bit threatened. Jesse has that Yules complete, so he can go for those pickoffs on Shad if he's by himself with a +1.
Yeah, importantly, you actually try and slow him down as well, because he did go for the Midas build, so the longer you don't directly combat this Void, the more dangerous you can get. But it's not the easiest thing to do when you're backed up by things like the Snapfire with the Chrono potential.
Also, look at 5-man's vision right now. They see everything. Like, they see Viking rotate towards that mid lane. They know this tower is pretty free. They have the defensive vision set up for if they would decide to rotate up to defend that top tower. So the vision is really in control of the 5-man, and they still have the Hawk up. So even that vision game is looking very rough for Viking here.
Kind of the scary part is like whenever you're up against this Beastmaster, just trying to actually de-ward, trying to get your own wards down is a little bit more dangerous, a little bit more awkward. Especially the way 5-men usually play. Like, we're seeing again from Misery, where he just absorbs this space on the opposite side of the map. And you feel like you want to move to punish it, but that's all just kind of baiting you in, right? It's like, the moment you come for the Phoenix, your top tower is going to be gone. Not that that's going to stop him anyway.
Yeah, and the Ace is getting really far.
Oh, that's a DD. And Toby has the mech to save his life. There was one more Astral Step, but Chessie knew if he went in too deep, he might get punished as Celery was nearby.
Yeah, there's no reason to overcommit for them, right? They can just play the tempo.
Oh.
Like, they didn't really use anything. Oh, Moonlight Shadow. Let's see if...
Aramis used the hook shot as well. He's testing his buttons so far. We're still waiting to see that impactful moment. Remnant coming out on the SF. Boom, steps too far forward. Primal Roar thrown into his face as well, and Chessie zones the rest of the team away. Look at this. Ace has arrived as well. He's like, oh, is that a push on the tier 2 mid? No, that's a Roche, I think.
It was a really weird play by Boom. I think he expected more backup from his team because he was like so far forward. I think he tried to bait, but instead they get punished super hard for it because they can jump the back line at the same time.
This is always the crux of when you have an SF type draft, right? Like this hero, yeah, he dishes out a lot of damage, but this is huge point of fragility in the game, especially when you're talking about being up against heroes like Beastmaster. Oh, kisses coming in on Beastmaster and co, but it won't stop them from getting the Aegis. They don't get the kill on the Roche, though. On the other side, you don't have a Chrono combo now.
Yeah, I don't think Shad is ready to fight yet.
Aramis is. Hook shot in. CFA will be hit up by the arrow, and they should be able to kill him off. Will there be a price in return, though? I think they will. They didn't even finish T-Bay. They'll get him with the Starstorm. Toby's able to close the kill, but the egg to zone the rest of the reinforcements away. Kills off Celery. Toby able to TP out on the side, though.
Ace has his timing now. The Deso is coming out for the bear, so expect like 5-man pushes coming right now. They're gonna take that mid tier 2 and the bottom tier 2 probably. They're gonna try to get push Shad out of their own jungle, I think.
And it's
After
scary
this
for
meta.
Viking because like these split pushes aren't safe, right? Like even the Faceless Void, it's very easy and predictable to catch him when he's on these split pushes.
Yeah, exactly. Like, it's very rough for Viking to play this game after they lose all their outer towers. Like, Shad is trying to get the most out of the map right now.
Yeah, but the problem is, like, when's your impact? When are you not just relying on your teammates in these chronos? I mean, this first item, Heaven's Halberd, it makes sense. You can understand where he's coming from, but that's making you even more reliant on things like Celery to dish out damage in your chronos.
Yeah, here they go. They found Shad. Yeah.
Yep. Predictable, as we said, and brought down pretty easily. Meanwhile, mid, like, what's your play? You can't really do anything to Ace. I mean, maybe you kill off the bear. He's like, well played. I've got a new one. Do you want to play with this one?
I think 5-man is just gonna take control of the triangle, push out that bot lane, probably. Yeah, there they go. Sentry's down.
Boom, waiting it out. Yules goes out. Remnant follow up on the Toby, and he thought he'd be safe here. Mech just about keeps him alive, and the creep can't kill him. The Necro book didn't have enough damage. That's the Mech used. Not really the most ideal way. You heal yourself, but now you have nowhere sustaining your team and may just have to surrender this tier 2 tower.
Yeah, the problem for Viking as well is they don't have like very safe wave clear, so they can just really spam out the waves, like even raises. You're pretty exposed when you do that, again, especially against the Void Spirit.
They've had enough. They say, okay, screw this. Like, we keep this up, we continue this path, we're just going to be stuck in our base at this rate. They move out with a smoke, looking to make a play. Aramis has got the hook shot, but they see him. Perfect vision on top of the clockwork. Boom, BKB's far away with the Requiem trying to scare them off, and Aramis gets blocked by the bear. No hook shot away. Chrono goes down. Kiss is coming in as well. Chessie should be the primary target, moving on from killing off the Phoenix, but they can't clean up Void Spirit. He's able to move away. They do at least get the bear, and they will repel the force of the 5-men, but not before finishing off another one as they find Ksibe in the tree line, running him down and killing him off.
Great fight for Viking. Very disciplined on the trigger there by Shad. He saw Ace, and he wisely decided not to go for Ace on the high ground here. Instead, keep holding on to that chrono, finding the 2 heroes, especially getting Misery out of the fight without him having pop his egg. Very big.
That's a bold move from Ace. No bear for 10 seconds, but it's a bait. Reinforcements arrive and they'll sidestep the arrow. Shad's dragged in, able to move away with the time warp, but they're going to keep on chasing. Toby has to leap again. Chessie on top of him, dodges out the cookie, moves back. Dive through though. Misery getting deep to try and slow them down. They don't want to commit the egg though, so they'll let Viking walk away, happy of defending their tower.
5 seconds on the Yules. He can go for a step into Remnant.
Looking
I
for
think
it.
they're gonna fight Toby. Yeah, there we go.
No guarding grease for 20, which means this is a very dead kitty, lady. They might just move bot. Like, the creeps are already pushed in. They're pinging Shad right now. But why go for Shad?
I think they prefer pressuring high grounds, trying to see if Toby has a buyback. Which he doesn't. So, I think this is just a tier 3 down.
Of course, they'll have to get the glyph out of the way. Maybe they hang around. It's only 20 seconds until Toby's off. Chrono is not available for another 60, though. That's the big deal. In the situation where if you can actually force Celery to use the kisses suboptimally, then you don't really have the Chrono combo afterwards that won you the last fight.
I think they should have given Celery the XP book for the level 20. I think having level 2 quizzes is very big this game, if they want to make plays right now.
Like we already mentioned, right, with Shad's build. I mean, he's now trying to get his hands on some damage. MKV's the next target, but you look at his gold. It's pretty far up at the stage.
Yeah. I mean, even with the Midas, and he had a bit of space, but he's still, like, they're trailing behind the Lone Druid, who's absolutely massive. Almost a full MKB on the bear as well.
By the way, imagine being a Lone Druid and finding a Philosopher's Stone in this game as well. You don't have to. You can just look at this game. Ace did find it.
That's when you send a personal thank you letter to Ice Frog.
XOXO. Love you, Ice Frog.
I wonder if Gabe would actually read it if you just emailed him. Thanks for
I
adding.
don't know if it would be that polite from most people in that situation.
I
There'd be
mean,
a lot of asterisks if they have a filter on, like they do in Dota now.
I mean, it's been known that he actually replied to some people telling him about their rampage.
Oh, Celery. Jump in with a cookie. Off the mark, though. Ace isn't a good enough target for them. They'll move the bear away with a Glimmer Cape, trying to heal up as they move forward. They force the buy back out, and they need to be careful of the Chrono opportunity. Aramis just being zoned out and brought low. BKB from Boom to turn around and deal with the bear. He can't afford to get rid. Shad's going to arrive to try and reinforce him here. With the time dilation, just trying to run away. Requiem's going to come out, but they resummon the bear, and when that happens, Vikin know there's no longer a fight.
Yeah, I can. Shad holding on to the Chrono, knowing they can't really. If he whiffs a Chrono or if he wastes it, it's a free high ground for 5 man.
Exactly. Sometimes I like to call it the bubble of danger. In this situation, the real danger is what happens after the Chrono. Like, if you do not have, say, maybe not necessarily Ace in the grave, but if you don't get rid of Misery and either Xiebe or Chessie, then you know immediately afterwards your high ground's going to get the worst of the punishment.
Yeah, I think Misery should always be the target for the Chrono right now. He is like the hero they can most easily kill in the Chrono, and taking him out of the equation is like very big when there's no Supernova.
Yeah, especially now that he's got the level 2 Supernova. It's not a case you can just go, your Celery can just deal with that on his own. It's a little bit harder. It's going to continue to get harder because Ace is closing in on that MKB. It's going to end up being a pretty scary timing because it should coincide with when likely the next Roche will be available.
Yeah, and I think they're gonna wait for like the next neutral items. Maybe they get the Orb of Destruction on the bear, which is like the classic I'm gonna hit your tower and it's gonna die in 3 hits.
I think that's definitely when they'll send a message to Gaben. Like right now, they're like, I'm thinking about it. A very firm message, and then they'll just see Orb of Destruction on bear. Like, God damn it.
Yeah, right now they're just poking, trying to force Viking around the map. They're just choking them out slowly, right? They got the vision from the Hogs. And look at the sentries from Viking. They're so desperately trying to hold on. Oh.
On the Xiebe. Trying to eliminate him quickly. The kisses haven't finished him off quick enough. The Prime Roar is going to come out. The burn of the mana of Shad as well is in a little bit of trouble. Guardian Greaves able to fill up his mana pool again, though. And on the side, Xiebe does go down. You need to be careful, though, because Ace is in the mix and looking for some vengeance. Aramis, one root would kill him off, and he gets trapped in with the bear. Crone on the side, on the Misery, trying to bring him down. BKB from Boom, turn around, moving on the next target. Aramis brought low, but they get rid of the bear first. They will be able to still find the kill in the Clockwork. A 2-for-1 exchange, and Ace looking to move away. Will be able to do so, but the reinitiation comes out. Chessie moving in, Toby dead as well. Pali died with the double kill. Enchantress is becoming a core, and Boom needs to be careful as well. The Enchant's going to come out. No BKB. He has to right-click, but he can't right-click quick enough. He's going to be brought down. With that, you have your choice. High ground or Roche. And they say Roche looks pretty nifty, but I think we want the high ground. After a kill with Celery, of course.
Yeah, Celery no buyback as well. You don't really want to buyback on SF, so... It started out really well for them. They got the kill on Xiebe, they got the Chrono and Misery, like we said. And then I kind of expected them to just retreat after the Requiem was used, but...
I mean, your SF can't function outside his BKB in this fight. This is what we've learned here, right? Like, the snipe out on Xiebe is big. He's forced to use a Primal Roar in maybe not an optimal scenario. And that gives you the confidence, I guess. Like, I'm trying to think it from Vikin's mind. Like, because Primal Roar's gone, they don't think that the SF can be burst even outside BKB at that point. But proven wrong.
Oh no, he doesn't have a DP.
I mean, at least the bear's not in the cogs with him this time, but the owner is there. He's like waving that hook shot. It's like, I warn you, I will use this. I will commit creep abuse. They'll actually commit hero abuse, which is more concerning.
I would like for Celery to kind of move into the bot jungle right now.
I think he'd like to move into the bot jungle as well.
Yeah.
Maybe a little bit quicker than this, because this is a sad, sad death.
It looks like he's moving out of life, so...
Yeah. On to better things? I don't know.
Yeah, I wanted to say, like, I want them to establish, like, a bit of vision in this dire bot jungle, so Shad can actually use this space in the bot lane.
I don't feel like that's been the biggest issue of him using this space, right? He has been picked off once here. That's it, though. Like, I feel as if 5 men, that's the concession this game. They look every time across at Shad, they go, cool. Keep farming. We'll take like 3/4 of the map. You can have that little square. Enjoy.
Another free Roche for...
Yeah, once again, let him have that little square in the bottom, right?
Yep.
I mean, at least he switched it up. He's going for an AC instead.
Yeah, I think they want to. I think they want to maximize their team fight potential with the SF. Like they got the auras. Maybe they're like, maybe we can do some damage.
I feel like this has been a bit of a pattern recently with Faceless Voids, right? Instead of it being this, oh my god, look, Chrono, kill 3 heroes by myself. It's more this, I have a Chrono, it'll set up some team fight, maybe I get a kill in it, but afterwards, I want to be able to keep tanking and forcing fights from the front line. And this is the type of item that does that better than MKB. Moving in, boom, stunned up. Doesn't want to commit that BKB too early. The bear needs to get out. Glimmer Cape will get it away with a heal though.
So far, pretty disciplined hold from Viking. Also, yeah, they got the end shielding up the bear for round 2. Still has a resummon.
The Sporinkination. I think that's the appropriate name. Like, you got Rejuvenation, Sporinkination, Healing. I don't know how you convert healing. Sprinking just doesn't have the same real ring to it. Moving in. Aramis may have stepped too far forward, but they'll back away. They don't want to commit too hard for clockwork. Ace just wants to hit buildings, but this is hurting a lot. So far, as you said, once again, disciplined hold from Viking. They're not willing to give over any of these precious big cooldowns or these BKBs in the early phases of this fight.
Yeah, exactly. They know they have the saves. They have the Glimmer Cape on Celery. They have the Greaves on Toby. They know if it's kind of hard for 5 men to fully commit onto that high ground right now, because they really gotta respect the Chrono.
Yeah, it once again, like, can't reiterate this enough. Shad himself, whoop-de-doo, but the amount of damage they have to follow up the Chrono from the other heroes is the scary part. And they're going to use that damage onto the bear straight away. And... wait, did he deny that? Aramis going to be brought down. And all of a sudden, without kisses, like, that big kill potential with a Chrono I was talking about it's weakening a little. They might just go now. Moving in from Jesse, Remnant off the mark. He tried to big brain himself.
That Daedalus is doing some work for Boom though. He's hitting really hard. Got the Grove Bow as well, so he can pretty comfortably sit outside of the Chrono with the Dragonlance.
Yeah, and you're definitely feeling the armor reduction, right? Because when you look at the item choice from Ace, you know, he hasn't gone for any sort of armor on this hero. In fact, when he masked Manuses plus the aura from the Shadow Fiend, that's a lot of damage being dished out physically onto Ace's bear.
Yeah, you can see the bear that dies pretty quickly still, right? So I'm kind of surprised he didn't go for the AC on the bear. But
yeah. I mean, he could switch it up as well. He's got 1 Hyperstone, but he seems pretty committed to just more attack speed.
Yeah, this is the Matu classic. Matu really likes that item, especially on the bear.
Holiday finds Celery. Celery finds more than he was hoping for. As he gets rooted first hit. Disarm out into the bear. Don't worry, Paladai's going to clean it up. Ace will pop his ult in time. Able to move that bear away from Shad. And Shad needs to be careful not to get rooted here. Luckily for him, with the time dilation, Ace can't stay on top of him.
Shad's really hard to bring down. He's got that status resistance from the halberd and the evasion.
It's that frustration effect we were talking about, right? Like, he doesn't... it's not his job to do the kills. He just needs to make sure that no one can reach Boom.
Exactly. Like, they have 2 heroes that are supposed to be the buffer for Boom, with the Clockwork and the Void.
Yeah, and then on top of that, you've got Toby just trying to support him from the sides. Like, he's got the Guardian Greaves, he's got the net as well. You can see he's now building that Solar Crest. It's all about how much can we juice Boom. And he's going to juice himself a lot soon, actually. He's getting very close to that level 20 talent, which should be the damage per souls in this game.
Also, the axe coming out for the clock soon, so he's gonna have that refresh for his spells.
I always love Clockwork's axe. You know, you kind of get that feeling like he's at the end of using his spells when the overclock procs and he stuns himself. It's more like he's just decided to take a nap. He's like, all right, I'm done.
I'm gonna commit some heresy here and say that it reminds me of like Blitzcrank from League of Legends.
Shut up. There's a game going on, a Dota game, sir. How dare you mention that file? Why did they get lands and we don't?
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I feel like Valve is just really not supporting the scene.
Oh, Chrono, moving in
That's a
straight
really
away.
good
They're
one.
definitely supporting the damage to take out Ace instantly. Primary on to Boom, so there's no follow-up Raccoon to control up Jesse. He'll be able to get away. The dive away is successful from Misery, but it did cost him his Aeon Disc being procced. And Shad on pursuit, looking for a target. See if they're trying to keep him slow with the boars. Might be enough to get him out, just about.
It was almost on the timing of the Aegis as well. The Aegis just timed out. And then they go in. Really good.
I mean, Ace is going to be fumbling his keyboard at that one. Xibe, now he'll try for the TP attempt. He's bodyguarding against the arrow. He gets out. The hook shot's going to miss.
At least they get a tower out of it. So that was like really good. They get the bear, they get a tower. And they hold their racks. I think this is like the best situation almost Viking could hope for. Of course you would like to get that kill there, but
It's the fluidity in the movement, right? Like, whether you get that kill or not, it's the fact that instead of it leading you away from an objective, it's at least leading you towards one. So there's no real downside to chasing it.
yeah, now they can work on trying to establish like vision in their jungle again. Celery has the sentries. I expect them to. Yeah, there we go. It's just gonna.
Oh, hook shot. There's the overclock. Can he kill him before he goes nap-nap, though? No. No, he can't. And Pylidai knows it. He knows what's coming now.
Chessie has the axe now, so that AoE silence coming out.
An easy kill for them. Probably didn't even need the Yules at that point, considering he was going to be stunned on the spot for several seconds.
Xibe almost has the blink dagger as well.
Yeah,
So-
it's just all about reach and boom in these fights now.
Yeah, a bit more initiation for them.
Now,
Shad got the Titan Sliver, which is really big for him, I feel.
the big problem they have right now is that last fight was great, but they're back again. And you now have cooldowns and less heroes to fight with, but maybe less snap bars. Is Celery going to be brought low? Jesse tanking for it, though, trying to bring him down, has to cut and run. And they didn't really focus on the building, so even the range racks is still standing up here for Viking.
Again, very disciplined, holding on to their BKBs and their cooldowns as much as they can, not even the hookshot used.
It almost feels like 5 men are frustrating themselves, right? Like they're trying so hard to force something so that they can say, okay, now they don't have that when we move forward. But
And I mean, look at the map advantage, and they're only 9k ahead on 5-man. Viking is squeezing every little drop they can out of this map.
yeah, they are actually managing to get blood out of the zone in the situation. And they try and get blood out of heroes now as they move forward with the smoke. Hook shot in on the 2. Beautifully done. Going to separate it. Make sure he catches on Seabay. Refreshed to go in for the second hook shot. Able to connect and ensure 2 kills already. And Chrono's going to go down. Ace has been found without true form. Trying to bring him down, and it will be enough. The big crits out from Boom ends his life. Chessie found on the back line. He's got enough spells to escape, but he doesn't get a chance to use them. This Boom Shadow Fiend hits way too hard.
What a fight execution by Viking! Holy moly! They did everything right there. The opening from the clock on the Beastmaster was huge. Shad manages to catch Ace in the chrono, and then Boom actually got the follow up on that with the clutch crit as the chrono ended.
Which was
Now
clearly planned. I mean, it's a professional player, Marino.
Sometimes you pray to the right RNG gods.
It's that awkward issue, even if it's not a crit. Where do you run there? Like, what is your escape plan?
They don't have buyback, so I think this is just racks for Viking right here.
Well, we'll buy a little bit of time. But you can already see Celery, he understands how this hero works. You can just slow that attack speed easily enough. Cookie out. Says, all yours, Shad. But I don't even know if it's worth it trying to get a kill on Pylidai here. I mean, they'll try, but this just feels like wasted time that you could be hitting buildings. And Misery, he popped his own Aeon Disc there because he flew by a little bit too much damage. And now they're trying to find someone as they retreat. But you see, Viking, from defense to offense, they're keeping their formations. They're not giving over anything. And hook shot straight in on the Pylidai, trying to heal him up, keep him sustained. Shad moves in with the time dilation, focusing on the bear, trying to bash it up. Fear to scare him away. Jump in, prime roar out on the boom. Egg pretty defensive to ensure that they won't be able to bring it down in time. Toby moving in, trying to get him a snap by Celery. He scrambles that egg, and with any chance of 5 men taking this fight, they have to retreat back into their base. Boom still hunting. Ace needs to be careful. He gets bashed a few times. He could lose his life. Buyback comes out from Misery. They'll be happy with that. Boom trying to back away. Let's go. It's BKB. He's holding on to that button, ready to press it as soon as they pounce. Misery. Oh, no, 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 no. Mistakes.
Oh,
Oh, no.
oh, Shad, living.
Shad is going to be brought low. You can't get him. Chessie. No. He's being juked out. Cooldowns are a problem for him right now. Boom moving in. He's doing I like click things. Ugh, the kiss is coming through off the mark. Nice attempt by Celery, but more importantly, not even able to get that faceless void kill. Any chance 5 men had of coming out of that looking good is lost.
That was so clean by Viking. Like that engage with the hookshot was so smart. They saw Chessie trying to go around on the ward on this hill. And they just take the fight perfectly. They force out buybacks. They almost don't lose anything for it. So next, I expect them to try and find a smoke right now when Chrono is back up. It's actually back up. So I expect Viking to smoke once Toby is alive and try to get that pick off and end the game right here. And they're already moving towards top, trying to smoke towards their vision. Ace is hella vulnerable right now.
Yeah, this is starting to play out like a horror movie. Inside of 5 men, it's like, here's Shadow Fiend. Here's a hook shot, double hook shot, arrow follow up.
Oh.
I really want that creep, said Toby. Jesse, he's glad of that. That would have been a big kill as well. It's not easy to find Chessie in these fights with the cooldown reduction from the Charm plus the Octarine core as well as his level 20. That might have been your best chance to eliminate him, but who cares about the voice for him? I mean, Roche, he's pretty sluggish. He's slow. He can't move anywhere. He gives you a second life, and also 5 men's base isn't moving anywhere. So once you get your hands on this objective, you can just set your eyes on their base, but not before you go for Pi.
Not to mention, you got the eggs on Void now.
Oh, good lord. All right, now they have the lockdown to kill off Chessie.
Like they're gonna have the Satanic. Like this Void is just gonna do so much damage, and he's gonna dish out so much control, and he's almost unkillable with the amount of status resistance that he has right now.
I think the word you're looking for is hella stupid. What an interesting concept for Dota, status resistance. I haven't heard people have like long 1-hour rants about that concept at all. Aramis? Does he overclock? Okay, he decides against it. He's like, I need the 2 if I want to kill him. However, for Seabay, we're just testing our buttons here, folks. You know. First it was Toby's turn, and now it's nap time for Aramis as he takes his turn. Ooh, and his turn might be more painful if he connects because they just found a timeless relic. I'm pretty sure you give it to Aramis here. The craggy coat is nice, but I don't feel like they can turn around and kill you at this point anyway.
I think you give the relic to Celery actually. The spell damage on the guesses is pretty big.
And the cookie stun is pretty long already.
Exactly, yeah, they give it to Celery here. Look at how much vision control Vikings suddenly have. They can deduce from their vision where 5 men are playing right now. Like they see Chessie is playing in full vision. They know Twilight Eye is trying to do his shenanigans on top, so
yeah,
they're pretty comfortable just like pushing these two this mid lane and this bot lane.
I mean, that's the thing as well. Like Pi's kind of an irrelevant factor. He can push. It's not like an extreme push, right? Like if a Void Spirit is here and he shoves the lane in like 20 seconds it's at your base, you know he's going to be stuck there for a while, so you can already see they confidently station bot to see if anyone's going to try and show up to defend. And I don't think there's much left to defend there. That's just a 500 damage Shadow Fiend.
Yeah, he's pretty big. Got the cooldown reduction now as well. Satanic. Only a 24-second cooldown.
Oh, some damage done. It's time to heal up. Arrow through. Not on the mark though. The bear being stunned though. Has to run away. Barely alive. And
yeah, they just have the Solar. They can just let Boom be the siege engine. They can't kill Shad right now, so you can just have them to hit the tower.
It's a little bit sorrowful for misery when your Sunray has next to no effect at this stage in the game. It's not what they were hoping for. Remnant controlling the boom. They can't hard commit though. This is the worrying part. These two front lines are so easy to stand up against. This bear's being brought low. Limber came to try and save it, but it's gone. At least gets to roar out a death cry as it falls down. And boom, once again, Satanic, and then hits one creep, gets 2/3 of his HP back. Why not?
What a player. Yeah, they have the leveler now as well, so expect this Shadow Fiend, especially once he hits level 30, he's just gonna hit some buildings. Like, it's not gonna be like your average hit. It's gonna be like taking an uppercut from Mike Tyson straight to the chin.
I mean, it's like a lone druid in a Shadow Fiend skin. God.
Is this the edgy DLC for Shadow Fiend?
This is the new persona. It's the bear spirit. Wait, no, that doesn't fit. The bear fiend. No, we're gonna work on this concept. I'm sure at some point we'll come back with what will inevitably be clearly the spirit bear, kind of shredded into pieces and being worn by the Shadow Fiend.
You've played Guild Wars too, right? You remember the Norn bear?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that would be a pretty sick skin actually.
I mean, I'm still waiting for the Tide Hunter skin, which would be Kunkka wearing parts of Tide Hunter.
And vice versa with like Tide Hunter having.
It's like, wait, why has Tide Hunter got Kunkka's hat all of a sudden? Or even better, just give Tide Hunter his peg leg to beat people up with. Yes, that was a very good roar. You see how effective this is against status resistance. I mean, Chessie's doing the best he can right now, just with the split push.
Boom right now is like the definition of large and in charge, I feel.
And you know, Shadow Fiend looks quite swole, right? And then in the mid game, you kind of feel like he's a pushover. He couldn't take a punch. But this guy, like, this is just full Rocky speech. You know, it's not about how much you punch, it's just about how much you keep getting up. He can punch you down and get back up. There's no stopping this man. Where is the? I'm just looking for the answer right now. I'm like, Lone Druid, what's the plan now? And I just look at Ace's bear, and like, well, the bear should be able to do this.
Yeah, the problem is the bear is quite squishy actually nowadays. Like he's going for the axe, so we can see some split push shenanigans gonna happen. But I don't like thinking about that because it gives me PTSD of like Lone Druid players with a Shadow Blade, just backdooring everything.
I mean that's a bold idea. I don't know if they'll be able to play it that way, just because of the way that Viking can confidently control the map. And you know that when they come for your base, it's pretty decisive, as they just gave a preview of with that mid lane push.
Yeah, I think they're just gonna wait for Roche right now.
Yeah,
Viking.
That's the big one. The problem is, like, you don't feel confident about that as 5-men either. Like, yeah, you have this egg. You know, you have some control around the pit, but you are always up against the Chrono in a Roche fight.
I would love to see Shad pick up a Nullifier right now to deal with the Aeon Disc on Phoenix.
True. It also stops Pylai Die from saving the 4 stuffs as well.
Yeah, and also Chessie's Resonant Pulse damage absorption.
Okay, now we're reaching. I mean, it's not bad, but let's be honest. At this point, the Resonant Pulse is a bit negligible. But we're covering every detail. We're saying build Nullifier, loads of value. Look at all this. Wow. Oh, Bear's looking a bit more Aramis. I mean, Ace, that's still gone, but at least you forced out the refresh from Aramis. I don't think he cares too much, though, considering the gold he inked. I feel like we're getting to this point where we just keep looking and go, like, where's the answer? What's 5-men's big play? What's the big timing, the big item that kind of gets them back into this? And I'm just scrolling through these heroes. I mean, Xiaobei's going for an Ags, 1,000 gold or so out. But I doubt that he sacrifices buyback to get to that. So it's more like 4,000 gold out.
I think the Axe is more if this game goes like another 15 to 20 minutes, right? Once you get that level 25 on Beastmaster, it's so hard to push against those Axes.
I mean, at that point, why hold back? Just queue up your tier 5 neutral items while you're at it. But, all right, guys, what would we like to see this game? What can get our Lone Druid back in? can get Pylai die out, force stuff away, and look, a hook shot and an overclock, and just enough mana to coax you in as reinforcements are arriving. Sad.
Oh,
Very
no.
sad.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's
it's not even quick, right? That's the saddest part. Like, he just casually strolls over here. Aramis is like, yo, I've been wrangling with this for 20 seconds. Comes in, tap, tap, slap. Gone.
I'm looking at tier 5 neutral items. I'm trying to think what would actually salvage this game for 5 men right now. But the only thing I can think of is like the Stygian Desolator on the bear.
Yeah, that's the main one that comes to mind here. Other than that, I mean, a Fallen Sky for Phoenix, maybe. But they have so much stats resistance, I don't think it even matters.
I mean, Book of the Dead would be pretty funny on XCP.
Of course, the classic.
Like, you have Necro 3 and the Book of the Dead, suddenly there's like, what is this?
They don't really even benefit that much from something like the Ex Machina, right? Like, look at their items.
Yeah.
There's not many things that benefit from a refresh here.
No. The only person that would benefit from the Ex Machina is Misery, I feel.
Yeah, but the problem with that is, like, you know, if Aeon goes off and you're kind of, I don't know, in a really purple area of the map, it's a Chrono. Good luck pressing the button to get your Aeon Disc back. And good luck against Viking with an Alias Cheese Refresher and Axe.
Axe Snapfire now,
God.
which improves their catch tremendously. But it's what they are kind of lacking in a way, because next to Aramis, there's no really good way to catch up except for the Void with this Time Walk. So now Celery can just like spit in the main damage dealer.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like this, so far, Boom's been playing kind of like a late game Medusa, where 5-men's strategy is let's just not get too close to him. Now,
Yeah, he's not so fast. So Celery can just be like, "Hey, go get him, Tiger."
BKB Requiems kills everyone. Primarork coming out, but hook shot counter initiation from Aramis. They can't even do any follow up against Toby, and they need to get out. Seabay's going to be left behind. Chessie says, "See ya." Arrow only hits into an illusion, so he's at least able to get away. They do force the heroes of Viking back, but it won't take them long to reach your base now.
Bot lane is, mid lane is kind of in a favorable position right now for 5-men, so it's of concern for Viking. Like they have to have their lanes in good positions, otherwise this Aghanim's bear is just gonna fuck up their base.
It's the only thing that you can mess up right now. Like, looks at the hero, he's like, well, Toby's not a kill anymore. Aramis is not a kill anymore. Celery, not a kill anymore. Shad was never a kill, and Boom, no comment. No comment. Like, you know how if he was a AI right now, you know how they're given blind spots against strong opponents? It's just this black rift that he can't see. He's like, I don't know what's there, and I don't go there. Base is in trouble, though.
Here comes Boom.
Meanwhile, the bear. Nom 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 nom.
Oh, he has the leveler. Oh my god.
Gone. They're going for the throne though. They're like, nah, we're done with your bear shenanigans. You can come back and fight us. We're gonna be done. Boom in trouble though, being brought low. He used the Satanic, no chance to use it. That's the Aegis already gone. He's got the BKB. They could just dive deep and try for an egg, but not with Celery nearby. It's too dangerous. They spit out and stun them to ensure that Boom can get away. Lincoln's does get popped. Chessie is pursuing. It looks like they're trying to TP out. Toby does make his escape.
Oh.
They're split now. They're really split. They need to be careful here. Shad gonna be caught on two here. Stun doesn't last very long though. Follow up to Simulate is not looking that good. Primal as well. Everything thrown on the Shad, but they're not able to bring him down. Requiem defensive to try and force them away. Oindust has been popped, so Misery has to back away. Now Viking need to get out clean. They can't afford any casualties here.
If they kill this bear, that's Ace's last bear. They killed the bear in mid.
Arrow
on the bear.
He needs to roar right now, but Boom sidesteps it just so slightly.
Yeah, that's no bear. They can just go end now. They still have their spells.
Oh god. 70 seconds. You have got a voice for it. There is potential to quickly shove this lane and move away. And considering that Faceless Void does not have mana right now for a Chrono, he'll try it.
He still has to cheese, so he can always just Chrono.
He's just looking, he's like, yo, buddy, we're both Voids. We're bros. You wouldn't do that to a bro, would you? Yeah, he at least gets the range creep. So good work between him and the Beastmaster to get rid of the creeps. will buy enough time that Bear should, in theory, be up for a tier 4 defense.
And that's not the position you want that bear to be in right now. Like, you
Oh.
want them as close to the enemy base as you can. Just so you can, like, get the favorable trade and then take the fight. But if he loses his bear again, the game is done, I think. Yeah, there we go. The leveler going to work.
Just the range rack slow. Not the biggest deal. This final lane is what they really need. The bear is up in 5 seconds. Shad trying to well away at the building. They're just trying to slow down Boom, though. That's the one they're worried about. Spit in. Moving in. Chrono's
oh, what a
chrono.
chrono!
They catch them. The kisses fall up as well. Chessie going to be brought down. Paladine trying to run this one off. Doesn't get away. And Phoenix cannot even use the egg. Buybacks galore coming out. Dissimulate. Chessie with a mini ravage, essentially, here. Toby down to half HP. They need to actually get a favorable egg placement here, but it's too deep. Vikin just back up and say, fine, buildings it is. Boom down to half HP right now. BKB gets activated. Ace has to run away while in true form. Can't really move away quick enough, though. Chessie trying to break the back line. Will break Celery's spirit and life. Buyback comes out. Meanwhile, on the base, the bear is trying to do the best he can to control him up here. Aramis was forced back. Hook shot in. He doesn't connect on the bear. They can chase down whoever's left here. Shad, time walk across. Chrono used again just to run away, but Chessie stays on top and to make sure he can't move away from this. Another move of the time walk. Chessie clips with the Shivas. No astral step for 5, though. Able to move away. Boom, still running for the high ground to try and escape this. Ace with the Mask Man is trying to look for the real opportunity. Chessie doesn't quite clip the astral step. They're turning around, trying to hit into him right now. Dissimulate. Stun. Does connect on the Shad. Sunray through as well. Chessie trying to stand his ground against this defeat. Does connect on the Shad and then bring him down. Low. Boom's gone. Buybacks come out from both the cores of Vikin, but now Aramis functioning as a TP point for Boom to arrive. He wants some vengeance, trying to move forward, hunting for kills. They spit him in.
Oh!
Chessie, but no, he's got to stimulate again. He's able to move away. The BKB is being wasted by Boom. Look at Pylite down on the side. TP out by Misery. Pylite dive buys enough time that the big cores of the side of 5 men do manage to escape.
Oh, oh boy, that was costly for Viking. No chrono. Oh, this feels iffy.
I mean, they're going for it. There's no egg. That's the crux for 5 men, right? The big team fight is also gone. They're going to move in with the media hammers. Stun them up. Stars coming out as well. They're going for the tier 4s with the bear. They actually fear away Toby. They need to fight. They need to actually make this happen. They need to get heroes back to deal with the bear. Both supports, but that means you've only got 3 heroes on the front line against 5 men. And Celery trying to escape. No! We've all been there, Celery, my friend. You are not getting out in one piece. Just drop that neutral item, throw it into the pit of abyss, and don't look at it ever again.
He actually immediately swapped it out.
We've all been there. We've all had that moment like, wouldn't this be good? Oh, dear.
At least they got the megas secured right now. They still have 2 of their racks.
The problem here is you are vulnerable, right? Look at the buyback status. You notice a theme here? There's one big scary hero in this late game that still has it. And he's going to buy out. Ace, he says no. No, it has to be all in. BKB has been picked up. Bear must smash. Unimputed. Roche. No Roche for at least another minute. Of course, buybacks are gone for a long time for Vikin. That's the problem here.
I feel like they need a hex or something. They have so much trouble killing Chessie in these fights.
Like, he's so bulky. It's just ridiculous at this point.
They also lost a lot of their map control due to those circumstances.
And it's kind of concerning, right? Because now you're in a situation where, like, you do at least have this big combo, right? Celery will be up in time for Roche. You have the Chrono. Yes, you had to expend 2 extremely big buybacks, but you are 1 fight away from breaking 5 men at this stage.
Yeah, exactly. And with the mega creeps pushing in constantly and the threat of the BOTs SF, it's kind of hard for 5 men to actually go for objectives. Like Boom's buyback is still a 5 minutes cooldown. After those 5 minutes, the game gets really hard because they can just go for those plays, like where they just TP Boom and Shad in and just end. Especially when Boom is level 30 with the presence effects buildings and the -4 aura with the gonna hit buildings really hard. So they're gonna take the throne in like a few seconds.
Yeah, both teams can potentially do that. That's the scary part. Both teams have glyphs. The teeter-totter of destiny is underway as this game I mean, you could cut it with a knife. It could go either way at this stage. And you'll see the smoke move coming out from Viking. They know they need to get around the Roche pit, secure some vision. 5 men, they don't want to play too aggressive in this area. They realize the potential backlash if they lose a fight here. I say potential, the guaranteed, the definitive backlash. They see Toby. He does need to be careful. Moonlight Shadow. He's going into vision though. Palai does see him. Pops the Lincolns. E-Blade forced out. But they're not going to go too hard on this. They're actually going to throw it out now. Yules into the Remnant. Follow up as well. Throw down a Sentry. Trying to bring down the Primal Roar. The Guardian Greaves will not save the day. He's gone. 100 seconds dead. Does have buyback though.
And meanwhile, the Barris is pushing out that bot line super fast.
Looking a little bit limp, but it'll just go back to base, heal up, and you can move it across to the pit in time. And now that Shad's come here, he has got the boost to travel, but it's on cooldown for 30 seconds. You're on the opposite side of the most crucial objective that is about to spawn in 5 seconds, and only 5 men will know the exact time.
Look at Pilot Eye's positioning.
He's damn deep.
He's trying to catch Viking on the rotation. Like they know he knows he's a hard kill. 1800 HP with the untouchable. It's gonna be kind of rough to bring him down.
But you have to kill him. Like his damage output, especially with this enchant quiver we didn't even mention before, right? On an enchantress of all heroes. God.
It's in the name, right? Now they know. They give away the Roche. So I expect Viking to rotate. This is gonna be the make or break fight.
They're so hesitant, but the moment you see Shad, you know, you can just quickly try and burst this down. You're a little bit paranoid that Boom could be trying to, like, get closer. But no, it's going to be given over. Oh my goodness, 5 men. Against Mega Creeps, they now kind of have the fists gripping around Viking's throat. Wait, what? No! No! Celery just picked up the cheese, the refresher, and the Aghanims. All right, you know, they say that, like, you know, couriers, they're a bit like children, and your children, you invest in them, they give back to you, and in just over 3 minutes time, that courier is going to very much give back to Viking.
What a play. Just not having that refresher on the Phoenix is so big.
It's so smart as well. I mean, just look at the inventories on these 5-man heroes.
Look at the lanes. Look at bot lane.
Oh,
they have to go back.
Yeah, which means you're going to buy another minute at least. Then you're talking about a situation, right, where we're going to have another Ags being munched by a member of the side of Viking. You're going to have another cheese, another refresher shard available to them.
Well, I think you just give it to the SF.
Like, the only ones left is the Mirana, right? Like, I mean, you could give it to someone who's, you know, like, you could give the Ags to Aramis, but I don't think he cares at this stage. He's like, nah, that doesn't really help me much.
Toby is just like poking around that bot lane. He's like, hello?
He's like, are they really not going to come and, you know, shove this out? Lane's always coming in, 5 men. Maybe want to get up in my face, rough me up a little. He's scary as well with that Timeless Relic, by the way. 3 arrows. Say 2 of them connect in a fight. I mean, it's just like being chronoed anyway.
Tier 5 neutral items right now.
Oh boy. Oh boy. Rub your hands together, ladies and gents. If you thought it was wild already, this game is about to explode into crazy territory.
Imagine if he gets the ballista on the SF.
Oh, no. God.
Oh, he got the pirate.
Oh, God, my God.
They got the there's the gold advantage right now. Oh, they got the ballista?
Alright, so that's gonna be perma-stunning for Shad, probably. And then infinite range for the Shadow Fiend. Good God.
And they got the trident, so Shad can disassemble his halberd, get the Sunge, and then have an extra slot.
I mean, meanwhile, I think 5 men got one of the worst items they could find for their team lineup.
Apex.
Yep. You just look at Lone Drew, looks at it, and looks at his bear, looks at it again, he goes, why? Why? He's just looking for the closest by pawn shop. He's like, I wonder how much I can get for this piece of crap.
Oh, Viking got 2 of the best items they could have gotten right there. The Woodland Striders.
I mean, the vision break against the SF, it could be handy. I just feel like you've got the rocket flares, you've got the arrows. You're almost always going to see past those trees.
Maybe Searstone would actually be quite good for them if they get it on the Void Spirit.
I'm just trying, like, we were rattling our brains earlier. We've reached that point. Our final answers, what's the best they could get? Ace? Ooh, no.
Yeah, I think it's the Searstone to get on the Void Spirit. Or the Mirror Shield.
They actually gave the Woodland Strides to Chessie. Kind of understandable, right? Because he can just get into the back line, break vision in the fight, and maybe, like, seclude someone. That plus he just likes making pretty trees.
I would like to see Chessie pick up the BOTs too with that item, just because you can break the movement speed cap.
Right now, he's just interested in making the dire trees prettier. And Smoke, Vikin are looking to make their kill scores prettier as they're going to move out. Hook shot in on the Chrono on the free! They're going to catch them. The kisses straight away into the face of Pile Die and Chessie in misery. There's no point even hitting that egg. He knows he's done there.
So
and on
patient.
the side, they find Ace. They're going to find Ace as well. And he doesn't have a TP. He doesn't have a life to work with. The Requiem comes out. He has no buyback. 300 gold short. Maybe you can get him to the buyback. But now, your balls are in the hands of Vikin. And Vikin are squeezing pretty hard.
Oh, so patient from Viking. They were waiting for the buybacks on their course. They got the buybacks. Immediately smoke out. And what a catch from Aramis right there. They were looking kind of shaky, but this has to be like a really big confidence boost for them going into the next game.
I mean, like, you know, some people are like, well, how do you play Clockwork well? What's the right way, analyst? Tell me. Aramis, just watch Aramis right now. This is how you play not that. This is mostly how you play Clockwork. And Ace's bear is in a lot of trouble. He at least forced them all back, but the bear is going to be gone. And the owner is dead still for 50 more seconds. With these boots of travel, Viking are looking to go for the juggler as they move towards the 5-man base. They still have a chrono. Now the buybacks are like, yeah, keep them coming, boys. We know you got more. Where's that Chessie? Go and hit that button. We know you got it. They're a little bit reluctant.
They have chrono up, so if they...
Moving in, chrono, there it is on the Ace again. Sunray through, trying to keep the bear up because he knows the last one has got PKB activated. Shad will not be letting this one go. Bash onto the master of the bear. Boom with the Requiem to scare it away. They've already lost the bear and they're going to lose the owner as well. And with that, there's not much left for them to fight with. Chessie trying to do his best. Moving away though. BKB is running out soon. Dissimulate starting out in the boom. Damage coming out. Pile Die. Doing a lot.
Oh, what a save!
Get him. The save from Celery though. He spits him back. He says, leave this base and don't return until we won the game. Buybacks coming out. Beastmaster trying to do his best. Boom is back in the fight. Full health once more. Phoenix not even safe in his own fountain. They will dive for more kills as they'll finally turn around. They see the tier 4s. They see the victory before their very eyes. And there is nothing really left for 5 men to do but die more. As they're also going to lose Chessie. Pile Die stares from his fountain, hits the GG and admits that Viking have done it. Game 1 will be in their control.
And how disciplined was this game from Viking? They were so far behind. They had to wait so long for Shad to get online, and they just got their shit together and actually pull out this game somehow.
I mean, honestly, amazing performance coming out from everyone this game. Like, I don't want to strip 5 men of their contribution, right? The way they actually clawed back into this game looked more or less definitively done. We were looking at it like, well, I mean, how does 5 men really come back at this stage? You know, this lone druid is starting to fall off. But they kept us on the edge of our seats. Like this one, it really could have went either way. I mean, I'm going to look at the win probability now, and I think, you know, it's been a little bit biased here towards Viking. I think these peaks were a little bit more towards 5 men at moments, especially with Ace's attempts to just rat his way to victory at the end.
Yeah, that Aghanims on that lone druid always is scary. It's so hard to play against that when the bear can be everywhere hitting your buildings, but they managed to pull it out. What a game.
I keep hitting that wrong scene. Sorry, guys. But only game 1. I mean...
Yeah. If there's 2 more games of this, I'm in for the ride.
I'm going to be slipping out my seat. I'm going to be pouring Monster all over my face because I don't think I can take it. I mean, my little heart is gone. I'm pretty sure both sides fans are also their hearts are beating at 1,000 miles an hour. This is the door that we look for, and this is lower bracket. This is the last point, and then out. So whoever loses here is gone, and Viking taking that first step towards eliminating, what they might see as one of the bigger competitors, one of the more known teams. 5 men that built up of all these really well known names, and proving exactly why, when even behind, they can potentially just grasp defeat from the jaws of victory, or grasp victory from the jaws of defeat. Well, this way, you know what, guys? Take it how you want. This game was brilliant. It was a beautiful masterpiece, especially from Viking. I think you highlighted it multiple times, their formation, their timings, like the patience that they displayed. And to go on a point you highlighted earlier on in the game, late game Dota is, I don't think you used the word pretty whack, but I'm going to use the word pretty whack. And to keep a cool head the way that Viking did in these late game fights is so impressive.
Yeah, exactly.
Game 1, guys. Game 2, come along in just a few minutes. I need to guzzle a crap ton of water, refill my bowl. You should get yourself rejuvenated, probably with some sweet, sweet monster. And in a few minutes, we'll return for the second game, which will hopefully deliver just as much as this first one did.